PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to December in PACTV Community News. Tonight we'll bring you some great stories from our communities. We'll stop into Duxbury High School to see how the new building is working out, and we learn about a new fitness craze coming to Kingston.
We'll bring you some foodie stories, including a chocolate sensory event in Kingston, a brewery in Plymouth, and Local Eats is back with a new restaurant on the South Shore.
We'll take you to Plymouth 400's Luminary event that connected us across the ocean to England. And we begin tonight with Pembroke's Townwide Clean Up event. Last month, Pembroke held a town-wide War on Litter Cleanup Day. Residents and businesses met up at the community center bandstand and then headed out to clean up their town. PCN was there.
We wanted to get the community together to go about town, around the different streets and areas where we've located a lot of problems with trash, litter, and just people get involved in keeping our streets and our town clean for pride in Pembroke.
I would give good money for people to stop smoking just to get rid of the cigarette butts. There's just cigarette butts everywhere, and they get in every crack and crevice. You can't get rid of them, no matter how you pick at them. Stop smoking.
20 minutes, half an hour, and this is it, just around the church and going down towards the police station. And, you know, what are you going to do? People are not too neat. That's being very, very polite.
There's just an incredible amount of trash on the roads, and I always thought that it would be a good thing to do for myself, and then I had this idea of getting the whole town together, and we've accomplished it here today.
Trash is bad for the environment, and that's why we're picking up the trash. It's our service project. We're picking up trash to help the environment because today is picking up trash day, and in our Girl Scout troop we have to do something to help the community.
We're from Crew 72, which is a crew in Pembroke that's just like we're trying to bring it back. So we're just cleaning the streets.
This is kind of what I expected because you drive by right here a few times, you see trash on the side of the road, and someone has to pick it up.
I noticed when I drive by, I honestly don't look deep into the woods, and sometimes that's what we're getting. We're getting farther in instead of just right here. So yeah, it's a little more than I thought actually.
I actually found some money. If you can believe that. I know. It was like $1. You know, had a great time, free coffee, yeah. It's terrific, real fun.
We found flip-flops, gas cans, hubcaps, toothbrushes, t-shirts, headlights, shoes. We found car parts, TVs.
We're going to have everybody's going to bring back their trash, and we're going to gather it all together so that we can show just what was involved and how much we have gathered. And then we have a little bit of a contest, maybe see who comes back with the largest amount, and they'll get a prize.
This year, Plymouth 400 hosted Illuminate, a new event on the Plymouth waterfront on the night before the annual Thanksgiving parade. A single candle was lit here in Plymouth, Massachusetts, which in turn lit thousands of lights from Coles Hill, where the Mayflower arrived to Plymouth, England, from where it departed. PCN brings you the story.
Tonight is the inaugural event that we have been planning for several months now. It's Illuminate 2014. Plymouth 400 and America's Hometown Thanksgiving Celebration are partnering on this event. We also are partnering with our sister city in Plymouth, England, who did their event last night. We're really excited to have Tops and Blues vocalists here tonight.
Oh, let our fame spread out to share the
going to be joined by Northern Lights, our Plymouth North High School a cappella choir.
Oh, how far do I have to go to get to you? Daddy the mouse, who would send me the mouse?
We have our own celebrity in Plymouth, Loretta LaRoche, is going to be speaking.
The important thing is to make each day count and to live in the present.
And of course our Senate President, who's been so supportive of tourism in our region and all of the things that go on in this community, and of course she is also a resident of Plymouth, Senator Therese Murray.
We have it all here in Plymouth, and now we have the opportunity to reintroduce America's hometown to the world.
We went to Plymouth, England a year ago, September, and we talked to the people who were putting their festivities together, and we planned this last year. We thought it might be September, but this is a much better time because this is when we have our Thanksgiving Day celebrations tomorrow and today, so it's perfect. And they did theirs last night. They lit their candle on the steps where the Pilgrims left from in Plymouth, England, and the ship sailed from. And they had a huge parade in what they call the Whole, which is the ocean front, just like we have here. But a Whole is called a spit of land on the water. And it was amazing. So we're going to see that tonight, and we're going to do our part, and we're going to join the candles. The candle will be passed from them to me tonight, and I'll light the candle here. It's very exciting, but this is just the beginning. This is 2014. We have 6 years of planning and work to do, but this is a very exciting beginning and first event. And we also have some students from Plymouth, England here that'll be here tonight, and they will be in the parade tomorrow. The event is really meant to highlight the importance of giving and being grateful, and of course, celebrating our American Thanksgiving. We'd like this event to become viral and go around the world over time. So over the next 6 years leading up to the 400th anniversary of Plymouth Colony and the relationship between the Wampanoag people and the Pilgrims who came here on the Mayflower, we are going to be doing this event every year.
Duxbury has completed construction of its new middle and high school buildings. This project took several years to complete. PCN has been following the project throughout construction, and tonight we'll take a look at how some of the new technologies and concepts are being used by students and teachers.
Well, things are working out very well. Students and teachers became acclimated to our building within a day or so. They all came in beforehand to get their schedule and walk around the building, so they knew where to go right away. They get their schedules ahead of time. Students are utilizing the laptops, as you've seen throughout your day. The 6th and 7th graders that don't have individual laptops are working on carts. The 8th grade through 12th grades each have an individual laptop that has been assigned to them, and they're utilizing them more and more. Where it's appropriate and where it's not appropriate to use in class, they're not using them. But the building has worked very well. The HVA system has taken the humidity out, so when it was hot in the beginning of September, it worked very well in the classrooms. And overall, the building has been a home run for us. Well, as you can see, in the tech room, they were using the CAD system to build houses and apartments. In the math class, they were using them to work on formulas and things of that nature. In English class, they were doing some research for some papers that they were writing. In science class, they'll use them for probes and things of that nature. In physics class, they'll use them for time and space and force and energy. So they're virtually being used everywhere. Even in the art classes, we have digital art here. Music class, they're creating their own music digitally through the technology. So it's quite a boon to education. It's changing the way we learn and the way we teach as well. All the classrooms have an interactive whiteboard, which we didn't have before. They have enhanced sound system, and you've heard a couple of teachers use the microphone because the kids, whether they have a hearing deficit or not, it helps them. Also, all the classrooms have natural lighting in it, which is a big plus here. It's just a more pleasant atmosphere. The building's layout is very functional. Each section of the building, one has the middle school section, the other has the high school section, and they really only share the cafeteria with the divider in between and the library. And basically each school has a side entrance for the library. So it's separate but the same for their interaction in the building. So, well, we have elevator for each section. The middle school has an elevator, the high school has an elevator. We also have a Pilgrim Area Collaborative that we have special needs students, and each of those classrooms are equipped with lavatories and some timeout rooms and some occupational therapy and physical therapy equipment as well. So those are some things we hadn't had before.
Fitness and exercise can mean different things to different people. Every now and then, a new routine hits the market. Cardio Sport in Kingston is home to a new high-energy program that's taken off on the South Shore. We stopped in to learn more.
Cardio Sport is comprehensive athletic conditioning integration worked into a really interesting, dynamic, and unique group exercise environment. We're a lot of fun. Most people say it's like doing a tremendous workout at the best rock concert they've ever been to. The results are tremendous. The actual energy within the room and the dynamic within the room is tremendous. People love being in the classes, so they come regularly all the time, and they get tremendous results from our program.
I come here every day, sometimes twice a day. I can't really picture my life without it. It's a central part of my day, and it's great. It's great to be in here with the people that you work out with every day and just see the emotions that happen and how it affects people. It's such a great way.
Cardio Sport's always been a community business. It's always, its foundation is always to have its ear to the pavement and really understand how a community works, what people are looking for as far as to better their life, to be able to, have some sort of objective, some sort of passion that you kind of lose as you get older. When you're younger and you're in school and, you graduate and you have all these little milestones. As you continue to get older, those milestones become either less and less, or they become something of somebody else. In other words, your fulfillment tends to come through whether it's your family, your children, and everything else. So there's very few moments as you age that you can really take something on your own and say, this is what I'm doing for me. And I believe that Cardio Sport enables that type of platform for people to be able to look forward to doing something for themselves. This Cardio Sport's ultimate philosophy is to work within the person. We end up using the person themselves as their number one resource for their fitness and wellness needs. 75% of what we do is based off of a unique compound movement formula, using the body's weight, the body's flexibility, balance, so on and so forth. So, not that we are a yoga type of a business or anything like that. We tend to use a high interval for our workouts, but primarily it's the person, it's the individual. We use them as their number one fitness resource. With that said, we add a lot of components that can kind of complement the core. Developing strength throughout the core and letting that stream out through the rest of the body is very important to overall health and wellness as you continue to age. So we use things like a soccer ball as a shock absorber and a core balancer. Other light resistance, dumbbells, barbells, plates, things of that nature.
So Cardio Sport started in this area about 10 years ago. We were in various gyms throughout the last 10 years. The program's been evolving over a 10-year period and has really culminated to this tremendously amazing program. In September, we opened up this studio, which is the first ever Cardio Sport studio. We offer over 30 classes a week using our methodologies and training styles and class programming. But additionally, we also have a national initiative where we certify instructors to teach these classes across the country. We've been doing that for about a year and a half. We have a little over 100 certified instructors, and we have a full-scale launch plan for 2015. So it's a tremendous endeavor, and it's very exciting for all of us. It's exciting for our members to be a part of something that is growing and that has such a following both here locally, but also on a national level.
Have you ever tasted chocolate? The likely answer for most people is, of course. PCN recently attended a sensory workshop for chocolate that might make people rethink their answer. We sent Brian over for a taste.
With the cold winter weather fast approaching, folks are inside the Beal House tonight warming up their taste buds for the first ever chocolate sensory workshop. The evening's event had the feel of a wine tasting. There were chocolates from different parts of the world on display. Participants were given 6 cups containing fluids that were either sweet, salty, sour, or bitter as a way of testing their palates. No one knew ahead of time which cup held what, but most people's faces were good indicators of the contents inside. The olfactory senses were put to the test as well, as the attendees smelled for mint, vanilla, raspberry, and orange, as well as some other aromatics. Smelling and tasting are 2 of the most important factors in food appreciation, or in this case, chocolate.
You know, in this country, what we're doing is fast food, and it's learning to get people to really think about what they're tasting. And I always tell people when I train them in companies, it's all about practice, practice, practice. But the more we taste and the more think about what we're eating, we realize the importance of organic food and natural food and really getting the flavors.
Myrna Fossum travels the world teaching about how to taste chocolate, not just the flavor, but how to taste holistically through aroma and texture. The folks at Edible South Shore organized the tasting, which stayed true to their mission of eating local, quality foods.
We really wanted to help people understand how to realize what is a quality product. They're spending more money on local food, and we want them to understand that there's a lot of value to that, not only for health benefits, but also for just the taste and to realize what it is that they are eating.
Paula Marcoux did the honors of baking 3 chocolate cakes for the evening, each with a different type of chocolate. The thrill for her came not from eating, but watching others eat and taste from the sidelines.
This has been a really fun project to work on because it's really great to see people really think about what they're eating. Everyone closes their eyes and looks inside and thinks really hard about what their taste buds are doing, and it's really fun to watch. I had the luxury tonight of watching everyone eating while I was doing nothing else, and it was just really great.
The method of eating and tasting behind this event is part of the slow food movement, an alternative to fast food, which encourages the farming of plants, seeds, and livestock characteristic of the local ecosystem, and also encourages slowing down to savor each bite or sip. So what do the organizers hope people walk away with from this tasting?
An awareness, a mindfulness of what they're eating.
I hope people will go home from this and really, the next thing they eat or drink, whether it's a meatball sub or a dry martini, that they'll really, really pay attention to just how great it is and how much it speaks to them as it's in their mouths.
Reporting from the Beal House in Kingston, I'm Brian Sullivan, PACTV Community News. Over the past decade, craft brewing has become more than just a hobby or specialty item. Pubs and restaurants all over now cater to this type of beer making with great success. The Mayflower Brewing Company has tapped into this enthusiasm for craft beer for almost 7 years and has become the fixture in brew houses on the South Shore.
Well, being the local brewery in Plymouth was a key part of starting the business in the first place. When we said Mayflower Brewing Company, we knew it had to be in Plymouth for obvious reasons. So the town and the South Shore as a whole has been very supportive of the brewery since we started. We've been in business for about 7 years now and see nice steady growth throughout the region. So it's really been terrific. The Plymouth community has been supportive of the brewery. We have a tasting room that we're in right now that welcomes guests from the town and the South Shore as a whole, and of course from throughout the world as craft beer has become more and more popular, coming to craft breweries to try the beer and see what it's like at the brewery is a big part of what people really enjoy. So it's a bit like wine tasting in the wine region out in California. More and more people coming to breweries, enjoying the beer and seeing what variety is available. We have these 3 warehouses back here. That's for all dry storage materials. Brewing happens here and packaging happens in the other room. So we'll come down to the main brew house. So this is a 2-vessel system where we brew the beer. We basically are combining the water, the malted barley, and the hops in the beer here. This whole process takes about 3 to 4 hours. And once we're done with it, we send it on to the fermentation tanks. Key thing is just doing the same thing over and over again, the same way every time. Because if you change the temperature or the time, the beer is different. So this is the packaging room. We basically put the beer into kegs and bottles. Roughly 60% bottle, 40% keg. Served in bars and restaurants, and of course in all the package stores. It's the most labor-intensive and expensive part of the entire brewing process, is actually getting the beer into a container for consumers to be able to buy. So this warehouse is a combination of finished packaged beer and packaging before we put the beer in it. And so it's just basically storage. We keep this room temperature controlled to make sure that the beer is in good shape before it goes out to the stores. And it's getting more and more full as we get close to the holidays. It's a very busy time for us. So we love having people coming in. It's a great way to get to know the brewery. We actually have some events from time to time as well. We've had bands here and food festivals and things here at the brewery. So we welcome everybody in the community to come by and see us. I think you'll really have a great time at the brewery.
Tonight's Local Eat segment brings us to Kingston to try a new restaurant.
Brian Jenkins has been called one of the most versatile chefs in the region. In the restaurant industry since the age of 15, Brian has traveled the country as a chef. 11 years ago, he opened his first restaurant, Sintra, in Braintree. These days, Brian and his family are back living in the Plymouth area, and he was looking for something a little closer to home. A neighborhood restaurant, a comfortable gathering place for after-work drinks or special occasions, with a menu inspired by American bistro comfort food. Welcome to Port Bistro. Brian, thank you so much for having us here today at Port Bistro. This is everything we've seen is fantastic. So tell me, what was your goal in opening Port Bistro here in Kingston?
Well, I wanted to have a casual, comfort food place where people could come during the week just to get a quick bite to eat, glass of wine, and also, could also be special occasion type place for the weekends.
Tell me a little bit about what is important to you in preparation and ingredients. What is it that you want to be able to offer in your menu?
Well, I like to cook what I like to eat, so we just start with the best ingredients that we can find, local things that we can find, and we just come up with fun dishes.
Tell me about these appetizers.
Yeah, so this is, I'll start with the meatballs. This is a new appetizer here at Port. It's a Tuscan braised meatball. We have a great recipe. We make them homemade. We roast them in the oven for a little color, and then we finish them in this dish with basil ricotta on the bottom, and then the meatballs, and then our homemade marinara sauce. This is a shrimp appetizer. It's a garlic shrimp bruschetta. It's garlic. A little white wine. Then we put the shrimp back in there. A little more stock. And then we're going to finish that with our saffron butter. Bruschetta. And this is a seasonal, kind of a new seasonal salad we have. Roasted beets, orange segment, and toasted crushed almonds, and goat cheese arancini.
Again, fantastic, and the details with everything, and the flavors are just beautiful with all of your food.
Thank you very much. Okay, Donna.
Amazing.
So these are 3 of our staple dishes here at Port Bistro, kind of signature type things that stay on the menu. It's our spice brined double cut pork chop on sweet potato hash. This is our marinated skirt steak frites with the hand cut herb frites and a Kalamata aioli. and this is the seafood paella, assorted shellfish over tomato saffron risotto. Tonight we're going to use swordfish, clams, shrimp, and mussels. So we season the shrimp and the swordfish. We don't cook everything together in the pan with the rice. We saute it first to kind of so that each flavor kind of pops out. Everything doesn't get married together too much. We got a little bit of color. Get the flavor of those spices comes out. If a traditional paella, everything is kind of in the rice. This way, the customer can see everything on top and kind of pick and choose how they want to eat it.
It all looks absolutely incredible. I don't know where to start, and everything is just so fresh and so beautiful as well.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Port Bistro is also known for their very varied wine selection, and to assist diners in choosing the right wines for their meals, we have Melanie, who is the wine director here at Port Bistro. Thank you so much for talking to me about this today.
Oh, it's my pleasure, absolutely.
Now, as I was saying, I think even for people who like wine, it can get a little overwhelming to decide how do I choose the right wine for my meal? Should I be going for reds or whites? And there are just so many different options. How do you help walk customers through that?
So what we like to do is to ask the customer what they prefer. We start narrowing it down, whether they like red or white, and then we move down from there. What do you like about red wine? What do you like about white wine? So it's really sort of making it a little simple, a little easy, unintimidating, because you're right, the list could be daunting if you're not familiar with what's on it.
So they're both beautiful to start. What am I going to be tasting?
Actually, I'm not going to tell you.
Aha, okay.
I'll let you taste them on your own without a bias.
Is that normally what you do with customers?
Yes, yes. The reason being is sometimes when you tell them about a style, they might already have an idea for whether or not they like it. One of them is from Italy, and one of them is from Spain.
I'm going to guess. Is this the one from Italy?
No, actually, that's the one from Spain.
That's very funny. I would have thought that tasted a little fuller bodied to me,
yes.
And this tasted a little crisper. It really proved the point for me that we have an idea in our head and that we can be completely wrong, so it's much better to have the opportunity to taste the wines and then learn more about them.
We love when the guests select something that they've never had before and then love it so much that they come back the next time and order that wine.
Looking specifically for that wine.
Yes, exactly.
Well, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to try the wine with this amazing looking meal, or meals, I should say.
You're welcome very much. Enjoy.
Thank you. From the Port Bistro in Kingston, I'm Donna Rodriguez for PCN's Local Eats.
Thanks for watching this week's show. Replay times are listed on our website, PACTV.org, or you can catch us on YouTube by searching for the PACTV Community News channel.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to receive previews and links to all of our stories.
We'll see you next week with more PACTV Community News.